Hello. I get asked once in a while, um, what all there is for differences, or what it takes to convert an EXP to an LN7. But it's usually about the differences between the two cars. So EXPs from 82 to 83 and LN7s from 82 to 83. The cars are the same, really. And even the 84 and 85 EXPs got plenty of similarities with the LN7s. Okay, and here's why. So, all of the 82 to 85 cars, whether it's LN7 or EXP, they're all what we call the frog eye cars. They're the cars with this distinctive front end. Later years, so 86 on Ford EXPs, would have front ends more resembling the Escorts. Matter of fact, they're identical to the 86 on up Escorts, which are similar to these. This is my 81 Escort. I don't have any of the 86 up ones with a complete front end. Just know it's kind of similar to that versus the frog eyes. So as far as frog eyes go, between the LN7 and the EXP, the EXPs look like such. Keep these couple items intact in your head. The list is small. The EXP nose cone. Take note of its two grill slots and how the remainder of it is it's just moved off. There's no extra grills. There is a notchback hatch. Keep in mind there's a clean deck lid here, right after the window, and then there are red tail lights for 82 and 83. Like I said, all that's just 82, 83. The LN7 for 82 and 83. LN7 gets this frog eye nose, and it's completely interchangeable with the 82 to 85 EXP nose. It swaps direct on. You don't need to change anything. You just need to take this off, and you put this one on. You're done. So you've successfully converted the front end of your car to an LN7. The other couple differences. The hatchback. So LN7s, they all had bubble backs, just like all 84 up EXPs. Kind of like this one. This one, it wears blue oval. So I believe this one to be an EXP deck lid. This car even had black taillights. That's the next differential here. So the 82 to 83 LN7 hatchback, that's all they had. LN7s only had the bubble back. Sorry. While 82, 83 EXPs only had the notchback. 84 on up EXPs all had the bubble back, and the bubble back is the same exact thing as the LN7. They were completely unchanged. The only thing that changed about them were the badging. LN7 says, I think, Mercury over here, LN7 over here. Ford ones, they all say Ford over there, EXP or EXP Escort. And then you can see with my silver one here, if they have a 5-speed, a lot of times they'll say 5-speed right there. So there's that. And then taillights. Taillights are the same story with the hatch. 82, 83 LN7s only had these black taillights. EXP for 82, 83 only had red taillights. But for 84 up EXPs, they all had the same exact black taillights as LN7s did. Keep those in mind. So those are all the main differences. The only remaining difference is inside the car, where the dashboard is. You can see this says EXP. The one for LN7, it says LN7 there. And as far as badging goes, even for the steering wheel, it's the exact same. The ones that have this 70s Ford style badge in the center of the steering wheel, the LN7s had that too. And then, same story, just so you can see what I'm talking about. Even the dash in my Escort here, it's the same exact dashboard, but it has an Escort badge instead of an EXP badge. That's what the difference is between the Escort and the sorry, not the Escort, between the LN7 and the EXP. That's what we're looking at. So that's it. You know, so those are just, seriously, that's it. Those are the only things you really need to keep in mind. But if you convert an EXP to an LN7, your VIN won't reflect that. The VIN number for LN7s are unique because they're under the brand name of Mercury. If you really want to get specific, Mercury Lincoln. That's what it was during this time of the 80s. So your VIN won't reflect that. But in all honesty, it doesn't need to. No, that's not something that some guy at a car show is going to find. And as far as equipment goes between LN7s and EXPs, everything about the interior was exactly the same. Let me show you a nice EXP here. So an EXP that has this interior, there's an LN7 counterpart somewhere out there that has the same exact seat, for instance. Same with center armrest, gauge package, everything else. That's mostly just year based. And then same with my 82 here. Blue 82 LN7s are going to have the exact same seats as a CXP does. You know, same carpet colors, same door panels, etc., etc., etc. It's all the same. They used them between the two different brands, and so that the only difference between the LN7 and the EXP were those couple external features I mentioned. Everything else is the same. So everyone knows, or everyone thinks, that the deal is with Mercury's is that they're a step fancier than Ford. Sadly, that's not the case. Maybe in theory they were supposed to be. The problem is most existing Mercury's, whether we're talking 80s Ford, 70s Ford, 90s Ford, or 2000s Ford, they're usually just plain Fords with minimal options. I don't know why. I haven't sat down to know what the cost difference is, but take this Cougar for example. I don't have a Contour or Mystique nearby, but it's real hilarious. Matter of fact, most base model Fords, well, I shouldn't say that. I should say most Fords, period, are better equipped than most Mercury's. Mercury's are supposed to be more luxurious, but for some reason they're just not. They're usually base models. Almost always base models. And I can't tell you why. And that doesn't matter whether you're looking at, say, Mavericks, Bobcats, LN7s, Lynxes, Topazes, Mystiques, or Milans. The Mercury's are almost always base models, equipped less than lower model Fords. But Mercury's, for whatever reason, usually cost more because someone's trying to convince you that they're more luxurious. The Mercury LN7s cost more than EXPs. We're talking a difference of eight grand versus 8 to 10 grand for an EXP, depending on how you trimmed it out in 82, versus 10 to 12 grand for an LN7, depending on how you trim it out. That's a big difference, despite there being no difference, right? So that's just interesting, something to keep in mind. But those are all the differences. I do have videos on the badging, on how the badging differs, because I have a whole bunch of new old stock ones loose next to each other. Pretty cool stuff, but it's really not all that important. The photos you see of these online, they discern what the badging is and where you should be putting them, and then that's really all there is to know. If you wanted to rebadge one, it's crazy easy. Find the badges, put it on about where it should be for your car, you're done. But yeah, I just wanted to spit out this video so you guys had a quick reference for those of you who have always been asking me those questions, or some of you looking for a car that has some mixed match parts and you maybe want to know what's actually what. A few things to keep in mind.